The pursuit of success is not new. Just about everyone has the desire to improve their lives, but only a few of us achieve it. Being more successful requires us to refine our character to a level few people achieve. Having a high level of commitment, focus, and proficiency in some will enable you to achieve the vast majority of your life goals. Keep watching the video to learn more tips that can improve your chances of being successful in life. Announcing to all of your friends, family members, and colleagues that you're gonna change and going deep into details how you're gonna do it is useless at best and sabotaging at worst. Firstly, not everyone will be happy to hear that you want to improve yourself, because it will make it painfully obvious that they are lazy or don't have as much courage as you do. Instead of support, you can receive criticism that might make you less likely to act upon your dreams. By talking about your plans, you get the erroneous satisfaction that you have already taken action to change yourself, and consequently, you are less likely to take real action. Secondly, announcing your plans makes you less motivated to accomplish them. If you want to tell your friends about your new goal, choose a person whom you know will support you. Besides, instead of telling them in a self-congratulatory way that you are finally gonna achieve your dreams, ask them to hold you accountable if you don't honor your resolution. Humans have the capacity to act against their urges in exchange for a better future. Unfortunately, many people live by the principle of, if it feels good, do it, and if it doesn't, don't do it. Caving into your temptations whenever you feel them emerge is like relinquishing your humanity in a way. As an intelligent human being, you have an ability, and I dare say, an obligation to make decisions that are based on rational thinking, not on your instincts alone. Strive to be a better human and embrace your humanity by exercising your willpower muscle, instead of succumbing to your most primal part of the brain. Your most primal instincts may provide temporary comfort, but seldom are good for the long term, except when there is a direct threat to your survival. To be human is to grow, challenge yourself, and strive to always become better. It's important to celebrate your triumphs, but dwelling on them for too long can lead to resting your laurels and jeopardizing your future growth. After you are done celebrating your success, figure out what your next challenge is. How can you take your life to an even higher level? For example, if you have successfully lost weight, now is a good time to gain some muscle or improve your nutritional habits. If you have put your financial life in order by building a small nest egg, it's a good opportunity to take it one step further and work on achieving financial independence. Treat wonderful accomplishments as opportunities to accomplish even more wonderful things, and not as permission to become lazy. In today's world of consumerism, it's easy to extract value without creating much yourself. Millions of office workers all over the world pretend they are hard at work, while on their screens you can see solitaire, social media sites, memes, or any other distraction that helps them to pass time until they can go home. Instead of supporting somebody else's efforts or creating something themselves, millions of people pass time by hating the things that were created by others. You will often find their primary occupation in life is unconstructively criticizing the work of others without ever creating anything themselves. Instead of bettering themselves and encouraging others to do the same, millions seek to live their lives in the easiest way possible, even at the expense of their moral principles. Harness the power of self-discipline to create more value than you extract. In addition to making the world a better place, it will serve as a powerful exercise in self-control and transform your mindset to that of a producer, a person who will always be valued in society, regardless of the economy or location. For example, at work, try to do your best, and if your job doesn't excite you enough to do so, do everybody a favor and find a different job that will let you contribute to the world in a better way. Support other creators instead of criticizing them. Don't always wait for somebody else to take the initiative. Step forward and organize something yourself. Resist the temptation to consume without ever contributing much yourself. The more value you create, the better off everyone is, and the more that eventually comes back to you. I don't is experienced as a choice, so it feels empowering. It's an affirmation of your determination and willpower. I can't isn't a choice, it's a restriction. It's being imposed upon you, so thinking I can't undermines your sense of power and personal agency. Be careful not to say I can't whenever you're working on implementing a new positive change in your life that requires you to give up something, such as going on a diet. Thinking of a decision in terms of a restriction like "I can't do it" inevitably leads to discontent and approaching your change as a short-term solution. Admitting that a change is your choice by saying "I don't do it" lends itself to treating it as a permanent identity shift. A related technique you can use to give up something that's bad for you is to associate it with the discomfort it leads to and deciding that you no longer want to suffer from it. You aren't saying that you can't do this thing any longer and thereby think of it as a restriction. You are saying that you don't do this because it is your wrong choice, dictated by your wish to avoid the unpleasant consequences. Catch yourself whenever you say "I can't" and replace it with "I don't" or "I choose not to do it." It's a small change in your vocabulary, but the way you think about your changes can impact whether they become permanent or are only short-lived. Telling yourself that you're gonna get something in 10 minutes satisfies your craving for the next 10 minutes. After all, you're getting your reward. You just need to wait 10 minutes. A curious fact is that after 10 minutes, it's likely that you no longer remember the craving, or it will have diminished to such a level that you were able to handle it. And if not, you can tell yourself yet again that you'll have it in 10 minutes and repeat the process until the urge is gone. If you find the urge overpowering, use a stopwatch and stare at it the entire 10 minutes before succumbing to the temptation. After 10 minutes, even if you still reward yourself, at least you will have exercised your self-control muscle a little. Note that you can wait for 10 minutes for any temptation in both directions, either by waiting for 10 minutes before you give in to something, or by giving yourself 10 minutes to do something and then allowing yourself to stop. For example, if you are facing the challenge of unpleasant, but necessary and urgent work to do, tell yourself that you will only do it for 10 minutes and then you can quit. More often than not, you'll continue. And if not, as with waiting for 10 minutes before giving in to a temptation, you will still have exercised your willpower. In a perfect world, everyone who is pursuing their goals would be an endless source of enthusiasm for themselves and always be ready to pump themselves up when things get difficult. Unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, life isn't so simple. No matter how passionate you are about your goals today, there will come a day when everything will suck and all you want to do will be to give up. On that day, it won't be feel-good enthusiasm that makes you continue. It will be dogged determination and the tenacity to finish what you begin that will carry you forward. In a sense, enthusiasm is a fair weather friend. By all means, you can have a great time with it when things are going well. But if you're having problems, the only people you'll be able to turn to would be your true friends, or in this case, perseverance. Work on mental endurance. You can't control a lot of things that happen to you in life, but you can control how you respond to hardship. When you feel mentally strong, you will be able to rise to whatever challenge you face. Mental strength isn't just for hard times, however. It's also critical to managing stress in everyday life. As your mental strength increases, you will gain confidence in your ability to deal with whatever problems you face. One interesting and empowering way to look at failure is to consider it a sign that you are trying to surpass yourself. After all, you can't fail if you are doing something that is well within your abilities. You fail when you are doing something that is difficult for you in order to grow. Hence, if you aren't failing, you are probably not stretching yourself enough. If you've been going a long time without any failures, it's time to think bigger. Not experiencing any failures is a clear sign that you are setting your aims too low, and it's time to seek a more challenging environment or establish new, more difficult goals. Success is obviously a positive thing, but bear in mind that if you are constantly succeeding, it comes with the risk of getting too cocky and assuming that you're invincible. Setting goals with a high risk of failure will help you stay humble and ultimately aid you in keeping success in your life. Trying to totally do without treats and rewards is a posture that is destined to fail. I don't know of a single person, no matter how self-disciplined, who doesn't treat themselves to a small pleasure or indulgence every now and then, and who doesn't use rewards as a motivational tool. Treats and rewards serve an important role. They help you to recover and to face future discomforts with a more positive outlook. Don't make the mistake of assuming that you're so disciplined that you don't need rewards or treats in order to work on your goals. There is only one outcome from making such a dangerous assumption. After a period of doing well, you start craving comfort. Since you will deny yourself the needed comfort, the desire to indulge will build up, eventually explode, and destroy any remnants of self-discipline that remained. Set rewards for accomplishments and don't be afraid to indulge in small pleasures from time to time, as long as they are small and don't compromise your long-term goals. Self-care reinforces self-command, while self-denial depletes it. That's pretty much it for today. Success can mean different things to different people, but whatever it means to you, getting into the right mind frame and having the right attitude will get you there. Hope you find the rules today useful. Thank you for your time. Have a good day. See you next time.